Hi. In previous presentations, I've talked about what is the metaverse and why the metaverse is important. But today I want to talk about 5 practical ideas about how your organization might actually use the metaverse. And of course, being from an e-learning organization, we're focusing more on the learning aspects predominantly in this presentation. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to talk about company awareness and marketing, and this is really where we are today. So you'll see lots of big brands like Gucci and Adidas and Snoop Dogg and so on launching metaverse initiatives and creating a presence on the metaverse. Now, this is largely about just showing themselves as being future thinking, innovative, and so forth. And for organizations, it's a way to present yourself to potential prospects, clients, and even future staff to show that you're an innovative and a company that is thinking about the things that are important in the future. Now, 20 years ago, it was very important that every company had a website, and that's kind of a calling card, and of course, that is still very important. And perhaps 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, it was very important that you had a presence on social media and you're there on Twitter and Facebook and other social platforms. And we feel that in the next great expectation that there will be is that you have a presence on the metaverse or on a metaverse. Now, what it allows you is an even greater opportunity to engage with people that you want to talk to, be that clients, be that future staff, and so on. So this is really very much where we are now. Companies are already doing this, and we can help explore how we can help companies to actually achieve this as well. The next element is about virtual meeting spaces and experiences. So, of course, with COVID, we saw a lot of meetings come online, more staff are working remotely. And so there's an increasing expectation that people will have the flexibility to work remotely from home, from third spaces, and so forth. And so by adopting the metaverse, you'll have an opportunity to not just use Zoom and Teams and other popular services, but create innovative spaces and experiences where you can have unique and imaginative places where you can meet, collaborate, discuss, and go through more, I guess, elaborate experiences than what you could on a traditional kind of 2D plane in Zoom or Teams. Sure, these companies are starting to adopt elements that are in the metaverse, but what we're really looking forward to is when we've got a full 3D immersive environment. There are elements of this available now already, but we think that over time this will continue to expand. Zoom and Teams and similar services will always be there, but when you want something a little bit different, then you'll have the opportunity to meet in these metaverse or 3D environments. The next component is NFTs for qualifications. Now, without going too much into what an NFT is, a non-fungible token, of course, we see this as being a very important step forward in ensuring that we've got a high amount of credibility and fidelity in the qualifications that we're issuing. So the concept here is that when someone completes an experience or completes learning, instead of you giving them a certificate, piece of paper, a PDF, and so on, you give them an NFT that can't be falsified, that you can investigate on the blockchain to make sure that it's real. It's been issued by only certifying authorities and so forth. And so you have very high confidence that that NFT has been issued to that person appropriately. So it reduces the risk of falsification of records and qualifications and so on, which is always a challenge, of course. And the other thing that we can do with NFTs for qualifications and experiences is we can embed into their smart contracts. So that could be as simple as something expiring after a year, so they need to renew that qualification. It might open up other avenues for community events. So once they have a certain qualification, that will give them access to certain privileges, spaces, metaverses even. And so you can build in a whole layered amount of elements with gamification components built in with what we can do there for NFTs too. The next element is on onboarding, and this is where we've mainly focused our metaverse initiatives to start with. The reason we chose onboarding is because, one, everybody should have it, and it's a great first impression that you can leave on new staff joining your organization. Now, every company should have some kind of onboarding. It might be as simple as a 30-minute presentation in a classroom. It could be more elaborate and be an online program that's developed over a couple of weeks or months. And what we want to see organizations do more and more is do their onboarding in the metaverse. Now, with e-learning as it currently presented, mostly it's a single player experience. What we can do in the metaverse, beyond it being a much more immersive and fully engaging process, is it can be collaborative. So you can have multiple people, cohorts coming in together on Monday, being presented to by the CEO. Maybe it's a live video, a pre-recorded video, or an avatar. And we can do all this in a highly collaborative environment. So people that are going through the onboarding get to meet each other, get to learn from each other's experiences and so forth. So it really takes it up a notch when it comes to what you can do for onboarding. And we hope that this would enhance existing initiatives, be that experiential in classrooms or facilities, mentoring, and conventional e-learning processes as well. So but the metaverse will be able to take it to another notch, and that will really make that first impression of an organization extra valuable and memorable. And so by having a good onboarding, we hope that you'll be able to increase retention as well. So that's why we're focusing on onboarding for our metaverse initiatives. But of course, we can apply what we can do in the technology across a broad array of different training, both technical, soft skills, and so forth. And the last one is more a glimpse into the future than anything else. So gamified simulations and scenarios. And we're already building some of the mechanics around this as we're doing now. You might have seen some of these in very niche applications where we're using VR goggles, and you might go through, again, a single player kind of experience where you're being presented with maybe a fire or you're in an airplane cockpit and so on. But again, it's very much single player kind of element. What we want to do is build a metaverse where we take the benefits of the metaverse, where we can have maybe a dozen people coming in together and collaborating, and the environment responds to how you respond to the environment. So it will respond according to your inputs, how your team works together. You'll be able to almost create somewhat digital twins of tracking how people respond to certain inputs and so forth. So you can have a variety of cohorts going through these simulations, and then you'll be able to ascertain how people might respond in real life as well. Now, the purpose here, by us using the metaverse for this, is that we can do it at a much larger scale. So you're not reliant upon having 5 headsets or whatever it might be, and the training challenges that it might have. Everyone can go onto their computers, their phones, whatever it might be, wherever they are, and enter into these simulations as well. We're starting to build the mechanics for this now, but this is still very much a glimpse into the future in the upcoming months and years, where we'll build out more and more of these mechanics to have dynamic environments, dynamic scenarios, even layering on an element of artificial intelligence there as well. So these have been 5 areas that we feel like you'll be able to apply the metaverse in your organization. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you might want to apply these, and any other areas that you think the metaverse might be suitable and helpful. Thanks very much.